The evening light slipped softly through the half-drawn curtains, casting a faint golden glow across the room. She stood by the window, motionless, her reflection merging with the fading hues of the sky. There was a certain weight to the silence, not quite anger, not grief, but the hollow ache of something that had been missing for far too long. Outside, life moved on. Cars rolled by, children's laughter floated through the air. But inside, time seemed slower, as though the air itself had grown heavier around her. Every movement she made carried intention, like she feared disrupting the fragile calm she had managed to preserve. There was a time when laughter used to echo through these walls, when midnight conversations held meaning. But somewhere along the path, words had faded into whispers, and whispers had dissolved into distance. She had stopped asking questions, because the truth began to wound more deeply than silence ever could. Later that night, as she wiped the table clean, her gaze fell upon the empty chair across from her. It was the same chair that had once held stories, laughter, and secret smiles. Now it was nothing more than a shadow, wood and emptiness, a quiet reminder of something that had once been beautifully alive. Her phone buzzed once. A name she didn't want to see lit up the screen. Her heart skipped, not from affection, but from old habit. She stared at it for a long moment before setting it face down. Some memories, she thought, were too heavy to take along into the present. Her steps were soft as she moved toward the living room, the floor creaking faintly beneath her. On the shelf, a photo frame leaned slightly to one side. Two faces smiled back, frozen in a time when forever still felt easy to believe in. Her fingertips brushed the glass, tracing the edges of what once was. A quiet breath slipped past her lips. Sometimes, she realized, the hardest part isn't the ending itself. It's understanding that it ended long before anyone ever said goodbye. Outside, the wind began to rise. Somewhere in the distance, a storm gathered, its low murmur echoing through the night as if the world itself was remembering with her. She felt it then, the same storm that had been quietly stirring inside her for months, the one she had refused to face. Stepping out onto the porch, she let the chill of the night wrap around her, sharp and bracing, almost purifying. For a brief moment, she closed her eyes and allowed everything to blur, the edges of the world softening into stillness. The air smelled of rain, of change, of something fragile on the verge of breaking, yet ready to be remade. Maybe this was what healing truly meant, not in grand gestures or perfect endings, but in gentle acceptance, in finding the strength to stop waiting for what was never coming back. Inside, the clock ticked with quiet rhythm, steady and unbothered. She turned off the last light, leaving the soft glow of the storm outside to fill the room. Her hand paused on the doorknob before she whispered something the night alone could understand. A small goodbye that finally felt like truth. When the rain began to fall, she didn't seek shelter. She stepped forward, letting the cool drops touch her skin, each one washing away the remnants of what she had carried too long. The storm didn't frighten her anymore. It spoke to her, honest, raw, and freeing. And somewhere between the soft pulse of the rain and the steady beat of her heart, she realized that losing someone isn't always the end of love. Sometimes, it's where you begin to remember who you are.